What's going on, everybody? It is your girl, your podcast host, the one with the most is K Rene.
Woo, 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 woo. Hello,
What's up,
darling.
girl?
Hey, K Rene, how's it going?
How it's going? It's going over here.
Awesome.
It's been a patch, but we are here. We are live, and we are back. We haven't been here in a moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we didn't
Man.
celebrate a few little like situations. Let's see. We had spring started, okay, officially. So that was, great to see the rebirth of a new year. And my garden, it's growing, so that's good. And then let me see. We had Good Friday, which was just Friday, that passed, you know. Then we had Resurrection Sunday, which is also Easter, for however way you look at it, depending on your age, and what kind of big kids you may still be. And then we have 420, which was on Easter. So we didn't have several celebrations and holidays happen. And we have been gone, and the world has just continuously been going to shit. And that's crazy, and so, everybody, welcome to the show. I am K Rene. I am the hostess with the mostest that is running a few other little jobs on this channel, as far as what I would say, little segments and other little shows. So this is the K Rene Show. This is basically where I started. This is the birth of my podcast. And I also have some other shows as well, which is really this live show, which we'll be back. We're just working behind the scenes right now, dealing with some things. So K Rene is the hostess. I am her. And then I have Camille, which is Creative Camille. She's over on the other side with me as well on Riddle Me This, along with the Distance podcast. So you will see Creative Camille pop up in some of these K Rene episodes, because we have done quite a few, haven't we?
We have done plenty.
Yes, we have. We've done plenty. So we are here today on a Monday, which is Easter Monday. That's what they say on the calendar.
Easter Monday. Wow, that's new.
Yeah, if you look at your calendar, it is Easter Monday. And I'm like, how many days do they like to throw in here? Because I'm thinking it was 3 altogether. You know what I mean? He went down, he was asleep on the 3rd day, he got up. Okay, and then how we roll it to Monday? Like, what's Monday got to do? Yeah, but if you look at your calendar, it says Easter Monday, and I need some information on that, because that part I'm not familiar with. So,
right.
And I just wanted to point out, we didn't come for the show because it was Easter Monday, because obviously neither one of us know what's that mean.
Easter Monday is the 2nd day of Eastertide and a public holiday in some countries. That's what it says.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know how that applies, but yep, Easter Monday, open, close. Bank, stores, stock markets. So things are closed today on Easter Monday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my job is open, so we don't use that as a state holiday.
So it's in Western Christianity. It marks the 2nd day of the octave of Easter. In Eastern Christianity, it marks the 2nd day in the bright week. On this day, families often engage in special customs and religious practices to commemorate the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead.
Oh, okay. I was supposed to make some bread.
Yeah, it sounds like the after party. This is like the Jesus turn up party. Like, all right, we're going to keep the party going. We from the east side, so that's what I'm getting.
And all I heard was some West Coast music, like and people with crip
That's why
walking
it's
and
put 420 with the Easter. Okay. West Side Connections. I'm seeing it. Do you know, I think Snoop Dogg put out a book yesterday, collaborating with Charlie Brown. I don't know if he did it, but somebody did got the rights to do a Snoop Dogg rendition with Charlie Brown, and it
really
was
the Peanuts gang.
yeah, it was Snoop on top of the doghouse, not Snoopy.
Right, I got you. I'm still mad at Snoop. I don't know. I don't, they was like, he's putting out a gospel album. I'm like, on Death Row Records? Really? Okay.
I that.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. They mentioned that on, I think I was listening to 92Q, because that's what we listen to in the morning when I drop my son off for school. And they were talking about it as far as that was going to be his new move. And I was like, oh, God, stop it. And guess when his birthday is?
When?
October 20th.
No way.
I know. It's the way.
Interesting.
I know. It's why I stay in a medicated state of mind. So if you're new to the show, make sure you subscribe to the channel, okay, so that you can have the alerts come to you, and you can have, as far as all the new feedback, or not feedback, but content, the videos, the shows that drop over here, and then you can be the first one to give your feedback and comments, and you can like it, and then you can share it with other friends of yours. Because again, I'm telling you, I laugh at myself, and I know you will too, because that's just the way it's supposed to be. If you can't laugh at yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? I know that's not what RuPaul says, but I just made my own shit.
No, it's so true. You got to think deep though. That ain't just surface level. You really just gotta laugh, because if you can't, you definitely ain't gonna be able to love yourself.
Yes.
Or anybody else. So
yeah, and that's what you need.
That.
You need that. You need to have that release of, good feeling, laughter. It's good for the soul. It helps to fuel within better parts of your day. Makes your day better. That's why I like comedy. I like rom-coms too, but I definitely like a good comedy, and that's why I love things as far as when it comes to outings and going to live comedy shows, because I am a silly person. I want to laugh.
I don't blame you.
Yes. So how's your week been, Camille?
My week has just started, right? Today's Monday. So my Sunday was pretty good. I completely tuned out of the digital noise. I put my phone down and I just committed to family, and just being present, and also being the HOH. Had to do a lot of housework and get the food prepared, get the laundry prepared, get everything prepared, get the trash reset, and get the new household items and the knickknacks, as we used to say. And I did all that stuff, and I felt great about it. So yeah, my week is going great. I feel like I am prepared, which is the best way to start the week.
I like a good week that's already prepped.
Yeah, it's already prepped, and I still left room for some spontaneity or a little optimism, to come on in, for God to come in. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad you mentioned that your garden is doing well. I'm excited for you. So yeah, we're on the same wave as you. Ever since you started talking about it and brought that last guest on the show, we've really been actively buying dirt and plants. So
I love it. Yes, girl. I have been out there. I have definitely been looking just like home girl. Like, let me get it. I'm serious. I've been in there and I actually had to buy a net because got there going squirrels, man. Squirrels is getting high and they keep running through my little stuff. And I'm like, I'm gonna beat your ass if I catch you. And so I was like, you know what? I got to get a little light net because I'm looking, and my friend had told me about it too, as far as to try to keep them from digging, through my stuff. Like, you better let my stuff grow, but it is going really good. I am very upset that I did not put a picture in of the after, but if you are curious to see how she has been progressing, you can definitely go into my community section on my channel and you can see her reports, and you can check the posts and the pictures. And again, I got lettuce, kale, peas, and I have spinach growing in the back, and they're all peeking heads. And then I got my flowers planted and I see some things coming. And then ever since I started this garden, I'm like, I got to keep my yard all the way together. So, I cut my grass and everything myself because I got an electric lawnmower. So I just plug it up and cut. And then I looked on a lot of different YouTube channels and they were like, save your clippings from your grass. And then my friends told me too to save it to make my own compost. So I've been putting like all the eggshells and like leftover scraps of things. And I had my first bag of clippings from grass that I was able to add to what I already had back there. And I just bought, I'm so freaking excited, a weed whacker. Like an electric trimmer, not a trimmer and an edger. So I'm like, yay, I can go and trim all the other stuff that my lawnmower can't get to. Just gonna plug it up and I'm gonna go out there and do it. So the grass, I'm excited. The grass guy called, like he didn't call, he texted me, he was like, cut the grass. And I forgot to text him back. I did. I didn't mean to like ignore him like that. I want to be like, nah, I got my own shit. Like, like I don't need to cut nothing over here. I got it, so I'm gonna hit him back up and let him know, like, you can hit anybody else, but I'm good over here. I got my own.
Good.
Yeah, man.
Goodness. You are on the roll.
I am on the roll. So, spring is here. Okay, everybody. And if you are not ready, you better start getting ready because the temperatures are really now starting to break where, we want them to be. So I was checking as far as the temperature. Now today, I think right now it's only 61, but it's supposed to get up to 69. But the rest of the week, 79, 77, 78, 73, like that's what we've been waiting for to get here. So, that's why I can now see that it's go time with the yard, and really keeping up with that, making sure that I'm doing my watering and doing what needs to be done. But spring equals new energy and new flings, because again, this is the new year. Like, it's the rebirth of everything. This is when stuff starts to bloom. It comes out. It's more present. You become more present in the world. Like all the darker days and the cold times within the fall and the winter had reserved us to be more so inside. So we had a chance to hibernate and get ourselves together. For some of us are actually like now resetting our workout regimen and eating and, habits of how we're trying to retrain them around, because as it gets warmer, we don't eat as heavy, as we do. And I think the heaviest that we do eat is like when people have those cookouts, like, because it's warm, but it's the gathering of. So they take the place of like kind of like the Sunday dinner, if you will, like that we were doing big or not big, but enough, in the fall and in the wintertime. But fuck all that. It's time to get out here with some flings and some dating things. So that's what I want to talk about today, is as far as, the the spring, bringing the new energy, new flings, new vibes, new feelings, and being that warmer weather means more outdoor events and festivals and rooftop vibes. It's natural chances to also mingle. And we've seen the current events of this world and how it's been flipped and how things are basically changing, for the things as far as what we're seeing, the pricing of everything going up. And, of course, that being an issue for everybody's right now, So let me bring this in the right way, because this is how we're gonna get into this start of this topic. So of course, I can never forget my man, the Mad Hatter, because he brings it all the way for me.
Won't you tell us all about it?
Back at the beginning.
Yeah. And when you come to the end, stop.
Stop. Yeah. So when we get to the end, we're going to stop. So listen, check this out. Now, of course, this show is geared to, of course, all the women and the middle age and the single life and the dating and things of that nature. But again, we see world is changing. And I'm not saying like we're going to, be afraid to, take a leap up out of here or anything like that. But I think right now we got to live a little bit more, aggressive. And I think for us to be able to fulfill happiness and good vibes that we have to create for ourselves, as we've been doing, I think for some reason, yes, even in our presidency, it does remind us back in the time of the pandemic, because we knew the vibe then of what we were dealing with. This is just a 2.5 of the pandemic, because it is, always some changes with it. But these changes is like really having us live a little bit more aggressive. And also, again, to be able to create and take our leaps, to still be like, look, I'm going to do what I can do and continue to create a happiness and a good energy around, no matter what else is going on outside of my bubble. But I have to keep, again, this is why our circles are small when we're getting older, because you can't have everything all in it. You know what I mean? Right. So people are shedding layers, and physically and emotionally, and it's the perfect time to spark these new connections. So you tend to want to plan more as far as when spring comes, and you do a little bit more. So flirty energy boosting, if you will, because we have to transition from the relax and the deep chill outs that we've been doing, because the weather, like I said, it was it was very mid, or it was just cold, and then anybody was out and about in the streets. And I know within you, fashion, Camille, what's the in look and the out. And I think, of course, we're all used to the sundress. We want to put the sundress on. It's a quick go-to. I did the sundress thing yesterday. I went to the farmer's market here, but I did it my way, because I was like, I still want to show my personality with the sundress. Mm-hmm. And so I did it like on a very Seattle vibe. Like I had the tie around flannel. I had like the baseball type cap. Not this one. It wasn't this. It was another one I have. It was custom made. But it was like definitely, it was cute. And I felt like it was also kind of like, a nice springy, flirty kind of vibe, if you will. Because we went to several different places yesterday. And I was like, it's no way that I could just not be out and about with this outfit on, and you feel different when it's warmer. I think you do boost your confidence. And I know that as far as with your new line of work and being within a coach of things, what would you say to, somebody that ain't really been dating as much as the last few months or so, to just kind of be able to help them to step their energy up, and their confidence to be more of a bigger boost to them? Yeah.
Well, I like that you're using fashion to boost, self-confidence, because, you feel when you look good, you feel good. So that is a great confidence booster. So I'll start there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, we are in spring, transitioning into summer, and
Mm-hmm.
you can never go wrong with some dresses. And what I have heard a lot from men is that they like a woman that wears flowy stuff. I hear them use that word flowy a lot, right? So I'm like, I know women, we always wear sundresses, like,
Mm-hmm.
but I think in their mind, flowy means not tight but sexy. I
Mm-hmm.
think in women's mind, flowy means like some old lady sundress. You know what I'm saying? Like we just, and I had to learn that because I like patterns too. But as I'm studying the difference in male perception and women's perception, I think
Mm-hmm.
they really like the modesty of something not being so tight, but
Mm-hmm.
also revealing, whether it's like a long V-neck where it shows like the cleavage line, or maybe it's the back out. They get this
Mm-hmm.
back arch, or maybe it's, you know, maybe you're a curvy woman and it just fits your curves, but it's not too tight, but you see like, all right, she's thick. So I think that that could be a really great ego booster, is us being able to wear comfortable clothing and make it look cute, transition it into something cute. Like, what do you feel cute wearing around your house when you're just lounging? You know what I mean? Outside of the sweatpants.
Like not much of nothing.
Right, because it's like we don't think about it because we're like, I'm comfortable. I have on a tank top, I got on sweats, but then it's the fit. You know, the sweatpants that have the elastic at the ankles. Those aren't
Mm-hmm.
sexy. They're comfortable, but they're not sexy. If they were a wide leg sweatpants, now that's another silhouette where it's like you can wear something really cute on the top and have these flowy sweatpants, joggers type of thing on. So I would say play with silhouettes. Whatever you feel cute in, try to find comfortable clothes that have the same fit.
Okay.
I would say that, and then just another tip, just feel good. Colors, I think that we're in a different season, so we can start wearing bright colors. We don't have to feel so intimidated by colors. Wear your favorite color. That's a conversation
Yeah.
piece. People will definitely see your glow from the colors that you wear. So I think that would be a great way to exude self-confidence and get some attention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe that as well, you know, and for me, because I'm a work from home person, and to just go out, especially in clothes, that's other than where I feel like I'm uniformed, because I don't do much but a pickup and a drop off. And it's like, I'm not going inside the school. I don't care about these kids because I ain't here for them. I gotta pick up mine. So I don't really, you know, like I don't wear anything that's into the point of embarrassing my son, but still it's like the same basic of a sweatpants or I was about to say a jegging, a legging and a shirt, you know, like it, you know, it's nothing more than that. And that's how I work in the house. I think the most I change clothes is between workout clothes and go pick him up clothes.
That's
You know, from the drop off clothes, and it's a comfortable, and then it just depends on the day of working from home, of how I feel in here. What I may have to do out back, if it's like, you know, with the garden or cut the grass, whatever. But also for me is that I have to change my mindset a bit because of how and what I put on, because I still see myself bigger than what I was. And so the clothing, I'm like, this ain't gonna work. You know, like this is too flow. You know, it's too
yeah,
flowy.
that's too flow.
You know, like, and I gotta remember, like, I have to be comfortable to step down.
Do a half and half. Like if you have a really cute sports bra, you know, put that on with a pair of slacks. You know
Ah,
what I mean?
okay.
and kind of throw like a cute little jacket over it or denim. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you can kind of play around with like even if you have on workout gear, throw a blazer on with it. You'd be surprised how you feel. You know, like
Okay.
you still have it on, but it's something about the way that it comes across. You can tell that you're a woman on the go. You have many hats that you wear, but and
Mm-hmm.
somehow the silhouette just feels right. You know what I mean? Like you feel you feel the transition and happening in real time. Like, okay, this wasn't too hard. I didn't have to go home and redo a whole new look. I just threw some lip gloss on with my blazer. I still got my sneakers on and my workout gear, but it's flowing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Hike up
Right.
the sleeves so that you can, see, if you're a bracelet person or if you have a ring or your nails are, painted, whatever. That stuff starts to stand out and you're like, oh, okay, this is a vibe. I went from my office to the gym to the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
The super mom to back home, and you still feel good. You don't feel like you didn't make the transition into that person you wanted to be in that moment.
Right. It was like changing in the costume, spinning around, doing like a little quick twirl, and you was like, oh, it's different.
Yeah, have a classic blazer that fits well, black,
Mm-hmm.
tan, or gray, anything. Just have it, leave it in the car.
Right.
Leave a pair of sneakers in the car, and it'll make a big difference.
I'm sure
And
it
your
would.
favorite lipstick or your favorite lip gloss, add that all together. You're always up for the transition, and I feel like that says a lot to a busy woman or entrepreneur. You'll see her
Mm-hmm.
style. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Right.
okay.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's effortless. That's effortless.
Right. Exactly.
Don't
Yeah, see, that would be quite cool. So yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So little hacks. Yeah. If you guys need any more hacks, you can follow me at JK Fashion Closet. Little plug right here.
There it is. There
JK
it is.
Closet. That is my fashion department. You can find a lot of different fashion concepts there. And thank you for even bringing that up, Kelly, because I don't really get to talk about the fashion mindset a lot because I'm doing some different things. But that was a good call.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I was like, yo, she's gotta definitely, put her inputs in, because again, it's all about how you're gonna have to build within to put yourself back on that scene. And for me, like I said, and I'm sure others that again work from home like me, like, yo, it's basically a problem at times because of the fact that you're trying to really get it together and really kind of recreate within a vibe to even have something that sets you in an attractive style and inviting within, like looking as though that you're here for conversation and not just, trying to just keep walking and keep moving and grooving the street.
Zombie walking, doing this and doing that. I know.
Walking Dead, right?
I feel, especially I think, and not just women, men feel like that too. You'd be surprised how many men feel insecure about how they walk around.
I could only imagine, because they have those things as well, as far as how women also have a way of feeling some type of an insecurity as well. And, of course, you try not to display it and you try to be discreet and kind of camouflage it and all of that, but still, you got to try to do what you can. And because of course I'm late with the Sex in the City, but I'm almost done with it because I'm getting into season 6, and then I'm gonna watch the movies and I'm gonna go to the new one that started up. But yeah, other than that, it's something that is quite interesting, and I really, again, as they're transitioning to their older selves, as the seasons keep going, and they're, starting to dress different and saying how, a lot of things can't be revealing. And of course, that there's still something that has to be left to the imagination. And that is true.
Yeah.
Very much so true. But I think you still, again, have to give a little something, especially also watching how you place your jewelry as far as rings, because I am now more into rings, but the type of rings, it's, like accessories, but more so not trying to have something that's flashy and then it's on the engagement ring finger. And then that's signaling like, well, wait a minute, what is happening here? What are you?
Right. Married to yourself.
Are you married? Are you not? Like what is going on? So not trying to cause any kind of confusion, basically.
Yeah.
In so many words, So yeah. But other than that, I think, as far as where to go for springtime meetups, because that's going to bring more people again in, and being out and about within just the setting, because everybody, I don't care what you say, they love being outside when it's nice out. They do.
Facts.
They really do. And I think that it just brings a different mood to the energy outside. So day parties, farmers markets, as I was just saying, the vibe at the farmers market, and it could have been because maybe my ass was late. Okay, yesterday I got down there. I should have been there early in the morning. Okay, that's when the early bird gets the worm. That's when I should have been there. But I don't know. I was just lollygagging around a little bit, and then I got down there. But I did get down there, and it was like the vibe was kind of scarce, and that could have been the time. But it just reopened, and yesterday was its second weekend that it opened. So, I'll try again. It won't be next week because I won't be here, but still, just the simple fact, that's a good place because you get to see people's interests, what booths they're stopping off at, and, what they're shopping for, and kind of give you a vibe because of how they're actually dressed. I think you pick up a lot about people and different types of people at the farmers market. Day parties, and brunch spots. I don't know a lot of people that honestly do brunch by themselves, if you will. I think brunch is usually a group type of setting, and you I think watch where you go also, depending on what you're looking for. Because if you're thinking as far as, okay, this is a place where all genders tend to vibe, not necessarily, and some genders do, but they're usually coupled up.
Yeah.
If they're out and about at a brunch like that. But that's like a girlfriend's outing, just trying to see and catch the vibe and see what the vibe looks like. But other than that, that's what I was thinking. Sometimes in active areas, going hiking, on trails, safe trails, I think that's a place where you can definitely find, people. But I think it would be hard with certain activities, like how I ride my bike on a trail. It's not like I'm going to accidentally on purpose swerve into somebody else on a bike to start up a conversation,
But think of Bridgerton when he rode up on with the horse, and she was like, and he was like, I like the way she riding this horse, like
right. Like, that's not going to happen.
She turned the corner with that bike. I'm on her.
Right. But still, like, like you would have to be in a setting where people are idle to be able to have those conversations, like, especially like for, some type of a meetup spot.
How would you flirt with somebody passing them on the bike? Would you stand up on the bike and start doing like the leg? The riding with
right, like, like how do you invite conversation? And you have to holler something out quickly in the past. They like, look at them calves, like what I see you pedaling.
I
I
like
see
the way
you.
water bottle match your bike. Like,
Yeah. You know, I mean, like
how do you
really,
spark a
how would you?
conversation?
Right. Now we know that skating was easier. Skating was a whole different vibe. Remember when we would go skating?
Yeah. Yeah.
Skating, she
That was
said, yeah, I like skating. Skating was fun. Yeah, skating. Yes, that right there. That was a vibe because you saw how they skate. You saw if they were tricks. You could see if you could kind of vibe with them to help you do certain things with your skates. You are skating. Who's in the skating rink right now, y'all? She went around. No, but just saying, that's a place that's easy. Or you join like a singles like sporting club, like they got adult kickball, adult like softball. They have like those little group settings that people tend to join and meet people.
I like that though. Well, here in Atlanta, they are like real niche based out here. So you can probably find like you could probably go on Eventbrite and type in single events in Atlanta, and it'll be stuff that come up. I don't know if every state is like that, but I feel like if you don't have that trend, maybe you could be the person that starts it, or at least has like thinking about it and finding these things and making it a part of your community newsletter, so that we can get out and meet these singles.
right
Like, forget speed dating, just like give me a calendar. That's speed dating.
Yeah, I get that, and that makes sense. Again, as far as a calendar,
Yeah.
being there, of course, and just give me a time, a date, something like that.
Yeah, organize this for me. Don't have me go to single one week, then the next week I'm around a whole bunch of couples, then the next week I'm around, like, no, give me the singles itinerary, please. And thank
Very
you.
much. Right.
Because guess what? In the same person over and over, it may click like, oh, they be at Only Singles event. Let me build up the confidence to say something. I feel familiar now. I've been seeing them.
Yeah. See, where it's hard to do it in religious settings, like church is going to be very low key. Like that's hard, because that's going to take a lot of effort as far as for church. You would have to, I think, be at a place as far as like a volunteer type of service at church and chit-chatting with somebody, like if you're putting together food baskets or whatever, and you're basically just doing some hands-on work and doing it as far as in a setting within that you're working within for the community. Other than that, that's pretty much that. And that I think you can feel out as far as within like how you would have to reel somebody in that's in the religious type of, settings and communities. But out and about, and that being that you're out, that's where I think it's going to be easier for you, because I think some people still reserve themselves as if they're not supposed to be dating and talking to people in the house of the Lord, like it's okay. Especially if y'all are on the same vibe, you build a different type of relationship, prayer partner, do more of these community outings together, y'all be in that within one like that together, but wine tastings, and I also think line dance like situations, like little classes like that. I think that's
love that. Yeah.
But I think it's all about the groups, and I think you have to key in on single life group settings. experience. You know what I mean? To be able to put yourself into those situations and positions so that you can meet people. You know, right now, what makes things a little kind of is where you're trying to figure from people's political stance of things. You know, like I'm sure there's people that are playing the card that, you know, they didn't vote one way within so that they still can get like business from people. You know what I mean? Like to keep themselves afloat and open and making money. Like, you know, they talk within a way of like, nah, I don't want to, I'm not for that guy. But it's like, yeah, you are. But again, just playing the card. But that's where you have to also kind of divert away from not trying to involve that, because that will ruin it. You know, no matter what the other characteristics that are serving that are more positive than anything, because that's just a discussion you can either have or not have.
I agree.
It's how you feel about that.
I feel like that's like you've seen the best matches happen, and then you get down to that whole if you going to church with me thing, or if you you know, whatever that may be, and people will leave them, and it's screwed up because some of it be coming from like they upbringing, like, you know what I'm saying, like they parents like, damn, we in love, but my family gonna disown me because of what.
That's the thing. You can't be living for the other family members either. You've got to have some cojones to live for yourself and do what you need. Yeah, I get that too, but still, you know, we had parents that raised us hopefully well enough for us to be able to make these sound decisions and have our own life and live our life of what makes us happy. And that's where that unconditional love comes from with our parents. You got to still let me be me, to do me, and then trust that I'm making a sound decision, especially, you know, when you have kids and you're not putting them in danger. So you're not going to put them in danger along with yourself. And then therefore, that's how we're going to, you know, move forward with that. But we still got to have the same mindset that opposites do attract, because they're not always on that time, you know. I mean, there may be times that they will be like, I will come and visit with you at times, but it's not going to be my whole thing, because, you know, that's not what you liked or found the attraction for me with. That wasn't where we connected. That's not how we did that. But I think even down to the communication gets a little bit more flirty. You know, how you can also keep yourself very open, and keeping yourself open, letting other person know as well, like the type of time and vibe, that level you're on at that moment, where you can keep the text very flirty, and keeping yourself safe to not connect, to get too attached. Because we still got to go through summer, god dang it. And summer might just be a different opening of a different show, and you be like, what happened in the spring? I don't even know. That was the preliminary for the spring. That was the intro to the album before all the songs started playing. You know, that was the interlude. I'm on a different vibe now on the album. We in summer, you know.
Because what brings you peace and happiness does not have to be like your belief system about politics.
Not even that, but the one that you even tend to try to actually make the connection. I think what I am looking forward to doing more is to just have more dates. That's it. Like, you know, I'm gonna try to be more open to not being so stuck into my types this go round for this, you know, this new season of spring. You know what I mean?
I'm with
just
you.
Because I think from even me, I'm going back to TV land, so fuck it. Just because of me watching this show, it was like helping me to show me that I actually need to be more on an open level of, because I looked at, you know, the people that they were dating and like, really? Like, you know, but then at times like, okay, that did kind of, you know, work out for you within a little short period of time. But just giving more of a chance to be more open to not sticking in my way of saying my type. But Also keeping it flirty. And again, like I said, staying on the level that I want to stay on. Like, you get a text message from me, like, I'm in the mood for something spontaneous. What are you doing this weekend? I'm going to need you to follow up with some fucking kind of spontaneous kind of theme, idea, something, and knowing the person that I am and where I grew up and the type of stuff that I like to do, you better stay in one of them levels also. And then you add your spice on top of it, because I am also not going to be the one that's planning everything out all the time either. You've got to show me your creative side as well of your ideas. You've been living on this God green earth just as long as I have, or longer, depending on how old they are. But just saying, because it won't be younger, but it's older. Like, yo, you come on now. You got something. You better give me something.
Give me something.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yeah. But I am on the embrace of the idea of that. That's
yeah. Well, hey, it's gonna be a sexy summer. So all you singles out there, you better tap into the K Rene network, because it sounds like we're gonna get ready to have some fun. We're gonna have some stories for you guys. We're gonna have some like some schemes on what to do, when we're getting ready to go out and get our flirt on.
Yes. Yes. Embrace the idea of flirtation as fun. Not every spring sparks needs to be a soulmate for all of search. Again, stay open. Staying open. Be playful and curious, though. I think this is the best time, ladies, in this part of your life, at this age, is to be curious. Be very curious. I think I'm not saying you should switch your lifestyle over or anything like that. Like, not pushing you into anything of the darkness, Carol Ann. I'm just saying, just stay curious and in the moment of things. I think that also will help to keep yourself more open, and stay safe but sexy as well. This is fun, it's cute and everything like that, but don't forget the consent communication, being protected. You got to stay protective out here.
Yes.
But sexy. But again, you got to keep yourself, in a way of staying very safe.
I'm over here
reading the room of people.
I'm like,
what'd you say, Mel?
I said, I'm over here getting ideas. You know me. I'm like, can we do condoms? Like, can we have some K Rene Show condoms?
Is that a possibility?
It is. All right, we're going to chat offline about that, but I just thought of it, and I was like, oh, I would so want to be a part of that.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I have to actually see how to kind of work that out.
Yeah, well, stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I know I won't be back before May, because as of next Sunday, which is May 4th, if you are in the Baltimore area, I will be hosting, good gracious, this is my 4th cake pop-up at Relief Dispensary. All the deets, thank you, is in the community section. It's in the shorts, it's in the post. I'm going to have a Star Wars themed day. I'm going to be doing a raffle, so you definitely want to make sure that you get into that raffle. I'm raffling off a free pound cake of your choice with a 4-pack of mini buns as well to go along with it. Within delivery, your choice of frosting, non-frosting. So this is definitely something you want to get into, and come and see me next Sunday from 12 to 3 p.m. or until the cake runs out. I'm doing chocolate. I'm doing the new spring, you guys, flavor, which is snickerdoodle. Oh, the testers, they love it. It's beautiful. You will enjoy it. I am going to have vanilla Southern Pound, of course, the number one stunner, which is the lemon. So I'm going to be out there Sunday. Check the deets in the community section on my page as well. And come and join that raffle. Come support your girl. But being that, again, I'm not going to be back before May to bless you all with any other episodes, I do want to let you know that May is masturbation month, okay? And if you weren't aware, it is masturbation month. And again, you got chips?
I have popcorn.
Oh, shit. Yes, get the popcorn, girl. Get the popcorn.
May is what month?
It is masturbation month. May is masturbation month. And why does masturbation matter, especially for women, is that I have a few notes I wanted to share with you all, ladies, again, because again, it's spring. And spring has got flings and things. And I want you to also make sure that when you're approaching these situations, you are absolutely ready because, of course, one, it's self-love. It's self-love, not taboo. Masturbation is a healthy, normal way to explore your body, understand what gives you pleasure and releases stress. And for women, especially, it is a way to reclaim autonomy over pleasure and shut down the shame society that has placed as far as on female sexuality. It also, for health benefits, improves your mood. So it increases your endorphins. So like when you exercise and you get that extra burst of energy, that's what it does. It has your endorphins flying pretty much. And basically from that, with the endorphins, you feel more energized. It helps with your sleep. That's why people like to fuck at night, because it helps them to get a better night's rest and sleep. You actually help each other to have a good, nice sleep, you know. It boosts the libido and your confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, again, like I said, if you can't laugh at yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? So if you don't know what you don't like, then how are you going to be able to make a connection with someone else? So you have to find all of your paths and ways. It also eases menstrual cramps, if you wasn't aware of that. Just like sex, actually, if you have sex during your menstrual cycle, don't know what kind of girl you are, but if you do, it actually shortens your cycle, as well as like exercising as well. It will shorten your periods as well. Masturbation promotes vaginal health and circulation as well. It's the connection to spring energy. Okay. Spring is all about, yes, it's all about blooming, growth, and lightness. So just like nature is coming alive, bitch, so are you. Yes. And your desires are starting to come alive as well. So you use the season to renew your connection to sensuality. And here are a few ways to come on back to the world. We are back. We are back. We went out, but we came back. So as I was saying on these last jewels, because I see what you're trying to do. Ways to embrace, okay? We're going to embrace this. Create a central place, clean sheets for yourself. Soft lighting, essential oil.
We're going to stay here. You are in a trance. Go get your essential oils. Go get your...
Set a scene, everything you desire, everything that you imagine for your scene. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello.
Is it me?
Okay. I think what's happening, it's something, it's too much going on upstairs and in this area. think
Look,
that's the problem with my signal.
you got him
And
excited.
it's like, I don't want you to drop these jewels, but God dang it. I was trying to, keep everybody where I needed them to be.
It's the
I was
cosmos.
saying the creators I'm going to sign off. That's what I'm going to do.
We love you.
I'm going to go because it's like, it's not wanting me to be great.
She got the cosmos
Okay.
excited, y'all. So
Love you too. Great. Okay.
Tune in.
Right there, man. Got it. Oh man. You know what? Let me one more time. I want to really give you guys this list. I really do. And I really want you to have it because I feel like it's important. And I'm going to try this last time. I'm going to reel it in. Okay. Again, May is masturbation month and it promotes vaginal health and circulation. And it's all about the connection to the spring energy. Spring is all about blooming, growth, and lightness. So just like nature is coming alive, as I was saying, so are you and your desires. So use this season to renew your connection for sensuality. And the ways to embrace it as far as this spring is to create a central place. Like everything you imagine your place and setting to be, as to have that energy with the person that you really want to connect with on a sexual level and a sensual level. Have your clean sheets, soft lighting, your music, essential oils. Set the scene for you. Also, mirror time is good. Make sure that you take time to look at your body in the mirror. No shame. Touch, admire, compliment. Find even all the things that you found as flaws in your body or on your body or the way your body is shaped or looks or whatever. Embrace them as if it is all beautiful, because it is. Body oils, slow movement, moisturizing. Make sure you're treating your skin like it's a sacred ritual. And just let that energy take you over. Okay. I think as far as to explore your pleasure, whether with your hands or you have toys, take your time, try new sensations, rhythms, and don't focus only on the orgasm. Make sure that you focus on the journey. And it's kind of like tantra, as they say, where you can try to prolong and find your prolonging in the process. So therefore, when you do connect with that other soul and you have that inner exchange with each other, then you can make it last longer. And then lastly, self-affirmations. Whisper flirty, affirming things to yourself like, I am magnetic. I deserve slow, delicious pleasure. My body is a masterpiece, as well as a temple, and it is sacred. So don't just be giving it away to everybody and anybody, okay? Because we do reserve that energy from that other body and soul until we can properly cleanse them out of our soul. All right. So I leave you there. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. I apologize for all the Wi-Fi glitches and things of that nature. And we'll definitely try to take this back into a part 2. So make sure that you, again, subscribe to the channel. If you made it to the end, you are a real G. All right. So drop me a blue heart in the comments for your West Coast girl, K Rene. And like, share, subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you all out at the pop-up. If you're here in Maryland, make sure, again, come support your girl and buy some cake. Bye.